you will. The countryside is still the only place that
It's a blessing, really, because the Rattles was good vibes. You know, written by Eric Idle and the music by Neil Innes. I think it's probably one of the best things that Eric Idle's done after the demise of the Monty Pythons. No, it's good. When it first happened, it was a curse because I was a working drummer.
Oh.
Going out and playing, you know, with various people. I've worked with loads of people, especially in studios. And with the sort of success of the Rattles, everybody thought I was earning a fortune and the phone stopped ringing.
Oh, I see. So it stopped you getting some of the other session work and touring that you were doing before.
Yeah. People I would see at places, they'd say, cool, you're doing all right now then. I say, no, I'm not. No. You got any work? Give me some work. I'll cut your hedge.
You'd literally do anything.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that was just one of the groups you played with. Obviously, I know you've had a long and distinguished career working in the music industry, Timebox and Pato. When you look back on those times, are they full of good memories for you, John? Did you enjoy the life of a musician?
They were great, actually. Timebox was a good band, and it progressed from being a sort of a Motown cover band in a way to what they now called progressive rock. And I thought that was a good time for English music. We never earned any money. You know, we started off travelling around in the back of a van, and we were together for 6 years, and we still travelled around the back of a van. You know?
Best way to travel.
It was the only way to travel.
So how did you end up getting the part of Barry Wom, the infamous drummer in the Rattles group then?
Well, Timebox became Pato. Pato split up. We all looked for other gigs. I didn't look for anything, but I got a phone call about joining Grimm's. And Grimm's was like a travelling show, really. It was fantastic. I don't think there's anything like it before or since. And it was part of the Monty Pythons. It was Scaffold. It was Zoot Money. It was various poets and musicians and lots of people. And Jerry Conway was playing drums with Grimm's. And when Jerry packed up, he recommended that they contact me because I like doing silly bits. And in fact, it was right up my street. And through that, I met Neil Innes. Neil Innes was in Grimm's, and we hit it off, and we were firm friends till his untimely death. 40 years. I mean, we used to go on holiday together and play golf and do the most silly things together, go to Paris for a weekend, and just we once went to the Canary Islands to write a sitcom, argued on the first day and never wrote any of it.
It's the greatest piece of work the world has never seen.
Yeah, it is. It's called Falling Stars. And I said to Neil one day when we were out playing, thrashing around the golf course, I won't say playing golf, we were walking around a golf course, swinging a club and hitting a ball now and again. This band that I'm in would really suit most of your songs. They're very adaptable. And so he came along and we did a couple of songs with Neil. And then we rehearsed, and then we did we got our own van. Again, we're in the back of a van with Neil. No roadies. We humped all our own gear around. And then eventually Neil got a gig with Eric Idle, Rutland Weekend Television. And we did some walk-on parts as well, and a few bits. We were involved in little bits and pieces of the filming. And lo and behold, when America caught onto the Rattles via Eric Idle taking a piece of film over there and showing it on Saturday Night Live, hence came the Rattles film.
Which I think is excellent. I saw it for the first time, aged about 19, I think, and it blew me away. I'm a huge Beatles fan. I'm 37 years old, but I should say I'm a huge Beatles fan. And when I saw the Rattles film and understood what it was all about, it really blew me away. I think it is phenomenal. And of course, you had some great star guest appearances in that as well, didn't you? Really big names who appeared in it. Was that amazing to actually get to work with them?
It was amazing, yeah. I mean, there was one lunchtime when we were filming in London, and George was with us, and he turned up at a lot of the studio stuff and all that, and George was doing some of the filming. And he said, come on, Halsey, let's go and have a pint. So I went off with George Harrison in a pub, and we had a couple of beers.
Yeah, I think if George Harrison asks you for a pint, you don't say no, do you?
No, it's a thrill. It was a thrill to meet him. I met Paul once.
Okay.
In the winter of, not discontent, almost the winter of '64, when Beatlemania was going crazy worldwide. You know, you had to live through it to understand what it was like. And I was in the Wimpy Bar with a friend of mine in London, and he walked in there, and it was waitress service, and he said to the way, "Oh, sit over there with them boys over there, you know, them lads over there." And George and Paul came and joined us.
Wow.
And we met Paul.
Wow.
Yeah, and we spent about 20 minutes while he had a frothy coffee and a glass cup and saucer.
Nice.
And ate his Wimpy, which was before he was a vegetarian, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And he paid the bill for all three of us.
Well, that's very generous of him.
Yeah, and off he went. Yeah. What
So-
a thrill that was.
Of course, that led on to lots of other musical work. Scaffold, touring with them, Joe Cocker as well, Joe Brown, and in the recording studio working with some incredible artists like Joan Armatrading and Lou Reed. Is that right, that you played on the famous Transformer album?
Yes, I did about five or six tracks on that. Yeah, that was a thrill. Got a phone call from David Bowie. I wasn't in. I was out doing a gig somewhere, some awful pub gig in Ponders End in London. And I got back, and she said, "David Bowie's been on the phone." I said, "Oh, don't be silly." I thought it was one of my mates mucking about.
Yeah.
I went to this studio near the Marquee. I can't forget what it was called. Quite a famous studio. And there was David Bowie and Mick Ronson, who I'd met before. That's how I got the job. And Klaus Forman on bass. And we put down about 5 or 6 tracks, one of which was Perfect Day, Satellite of Love, which is another song that people know, and a few other tracks. Yeah, that was it. I got 36 quid for that.
Did you really?
Yeah. I think it sold millions on vinyl. I think it sold millions on cassette, and it sold millions on CD. It's still selling, I should think.
Troubles there are so much rarer out